News show. We want to connect with you, and that's why we live stream the entire thing on social media. You can join our conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Just use our hashtag 4 to 5. And we'll jump right in here by getting you straight to your 4 to 5 roundup. UPS is bringing more jobs to the Triad. They're committing more than $300 million to build 2 new job sites in Guilford and Alamance counties in the next 4 years. The facilities will create nearly 600 new positions, and in the next 12 years, the Department of Commerce says UPS will grow our state's GDP by $1.4 billion and bring in more than $35 million in tax revenue. Johnson & Johnson has put its coronavirus vaccine trial on hold. The temporary pause comes because of an unexplained illness in a study participant. In a statement, the company said an illness during clinical trials is not uncommon and is reasonably expected with such a large number of participants. AstraZeneca had a similar issue earlier this year, but has since resumed the portion of the trial it oversees. And it is day one of the fall furniture market. The High Point Fall Furniture event usually brings thousands of furniture buyers and billions of dollars to the Triad, but this year, as you might expect, it looks much different because of the pandemic. Virtually no international exhibitors are in town, and those who are here are experiencing a changed event. Several precautions are in place, most notably a longer market to limit daily capacity and everyone wearing face masks. The furniture market is also doing symptom checks for everyone. And Machu Picchu has been closed since March, but reopened for a single tourist. Jesse Katamaya arrived from Japan with a permit to enter the UNESCO World Heritage Site, but the Peruvian government shut it down, leaving Katamaya stranded. He stayed in a town just outside of Machu Picchu for the last 7 months. He rented a small room and even taught boxing classes to some local kids. Well, he was running out of money when a local tour company and the Ministry of Culture granted him special permission to enter Machu Picchu and have the usually crowded site all to himself. Happening right now, a rally for safer re-entry into the classroom. A crowd from the Guilford County Association of Educators is holding up signs outside of where the Board of Education meeting kicks off in just a few hours. WFMY News 2's Jess Winters is live there to bring us coverage. So, Jessica, what are those people gathering outside for this afternoon?
Yeah, Maddie, a lot of teachers out here don't want students to go back to school full time or for even 2 days until they have some sort of assurances that they can do it absolutely safely. We have about 20 teachers out here so far. I want to give you a look at it because more and more people are coming, and you can read the signs for yourselves. Kyle, if you can zoom in. Safe education is a must. Returning now is unjust, reads one signs. Another one reads, how many deaths are you okay with? Now, this is right outside GCS headquarters, and this is the Guilford County Association of Educators. I just got off the phone with the president, Todd Warren. He will be down here shortly, and he said that they're protesting, they're rallying for a lot of things right now, and they're rallying in a socially distanced way on the sidewalk. All of them are wearing masks currently, as you can see. But he said he also wants some assurances for the teachers themselves. This is a teacher and employee advocate organization, that they will be safe when they do return to school, when they do return to the classrooms. Is there some sort of protection for them? Can they take a COVID-19 leave? Will the state protect them? On a local level, will they be protected? They do understand that there is a learning loss for students, but they want some face-to-face time with GCS leaders because they haven't gotten that opportunity in quite some time. If you can remember the last time that the Board of Education met in person, I can't, but it had to have been back in March, months ago. This is the first in-person meeting that's going to happen in quite some time. Now, the board already approved a phased re-entry plan, 5 to 4, but that plan is not a guarantee. It's not a done deal because it still rides on some metrics that we're waiting to hear some definitive, some concrete numbers on. I went on the Guilford County Health Department's website today, and the positivity test rate is at a 6.1 today. GCS and the health department has said and has been saying over and over again that rate has to be 5% for 14 days straight in order for kids to return to the classroom on October 20th and then on October 26th, so on and so forth. So we're expecting to hear those numbers tonight. And in the meantime, as I said, more and more people are joining in on this rally, so we'll keep an eye on things.
The City of Greensboro's Park and Rec Department plans to start its after-school program for kids age 5 to 12 next week. They say the priority, of course, is the kids' safety. So here's what you need to know.
We are definitely taking the safety of all our participants to the extreme.
Beginning Tuesday, October 20th, the city of Greensboro plans to use the Lindley Recreation Center as an after-school program site.
We miss the community just as much as the community misses there being something for kids to do. And I know parents need a space for their kids to go where they can trust that they're not only having fun and doing their homework, but it's also safe.
Brown, Leonard, Lewis, and Griffin Recreation Centers will also serve as sites beginning November 9th. Kristen Herndon says students will be screened before entering the building. Everyone will be required to wear a mask, and social distancing is a must.
And there will be regular hand washing and sanitizing times for the participants and staff.
The program will run Monday through Fridays from 2 to 6 p.m. Only 8 to 15 students will be accepted at a site each week. It costs $30.
We want to make sure that we're still following the guidelines that are set up by the state, and also what we feel is a safe number.
Herndon says transportation won't be provided by Parks and Rec, so it's up to parents to arrange that. She suggests also reaching out to your child's school. Parents are also asked to send the following with their kids.
We are asking them to send, maybe their own jacket, and then any supplies for homework, also a prepackaged snack, and also a water bottle with their name on it.
The after-school program will operate when Guilford County Schools offers in-person instruction. So just keep in mind that that opening date could change depending on the metrics that we are going to hear more about at tonight's Guilford County Board of Education meeting. And keep this in mind right now, although we're waiting for that, registration is still open on the city's website. The Rockingham County Board of Education is delaying its reentry plan. Now, the board says that they want to hear more input from teachers before making a decision on a Plan A reentry decision. Now, the board is considering three options here. First is sending pre-K through second grade back to school on November 2nd. The next option is sending pre-K through third back on November 16th. And finally, keeping all students in Plan B until January 15th. Now, for options 1 and 2, 4th through 12th grade students would stay in Plan B. The Board of Education is meeting once again on October 26th to discuss options.
New at 4 o'clock, we are learning more information about a cluster of coronavirus cases at UNCG. The Guilford County Health Department says the cluster is impacting less than 10 students on the women's basketball team. Now the entire team is being tested and practice is suspended until further notice. UNCG's athletics facilities are going through a deep cleaning, and a reminder here, a cluster is defined as 5 or more COVID-19 cases that are linked together either in close location or involving close contact. Well, the number of new COVID-19 daily cases in North Carolina went up once again. The state reports more than 1,700 cases today compared to yesterday's 1,200. The number of people in the hospital has leveled out over the past couple of days. As of yesterday, just more than 1,100 people were in the hospital, with 96% of hospitals reporting. Hospitalizations have remained above 1,000 for the past week. If you need a test, there is free coronavirus testing available in Elon tomorrow. It's happening at Elon First Baptist Church from noon until 5:30. You can pre-register to save yourself from time, and you should get those results back in 3 to 5 days.
Senator Tom Tillis was given the all clear from doctors to attend in-person events again. The senator's first in-person event he attended, the confirmation hearings of Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Now, the senator's doctor says that he can end his quarantine period per CDC guidelines. Tillis also enrolled in the antibody study with Atrium Health and Wake Forest Baptist Health. He's also planning to volunteer for UNC Chapel Hill study, the largest study in the nation on coronavirus immunology.
The deadline for families to apply for coronavirus grants is this week. That money is part of Governor Cooper's Coronavirus Relief Act, and it's meant to help families with children pay for virtual schooling and childcare during the pandemic. Up to $335 is available, but the application is due on Thursday. To be eligible, your 2019 state tax return has to be below the minimum income level. That's $10,000 for single filers and $20,000 for couples. Families have to have a child younger than 16 years old as of last year, but keep this in mind. If you filed a tax return and you claimed a dependent under 16, you will automatically receive that payment. If that's not the case for you, you can find the application on the North Carolina Department of Revenue's website.
Looking at temperatures today, yeah, we're dealing with it got a little warm at times, didn't it? Yeah, I had the long sleeve shirt on today, so I said, don't go outside. Got warm very fast, almost up to 80 degrees for a lot of us. Charlotte at 80, it's 79 in the Triad. Now the cooler air is back up in the higher elevations. That's normal, right? But usually not this big of a difference. 63 in Boone, 69 in Asheville, but it warms up quickly if you head to the south. Columbia, South Carolina at 84. Here's your short-term forecast, 45 degrees for that overnight low tonight. That'll be a cool morning tomorrow. Mostly clear skies. Might see a little bit of morning fog tomorrow, but I think otherwise we're really just dealing with partly sunny skies, and highs should be in the mid 70s or so. Our long range forecast, mid 70s and sunshine. Beautiful Wednesday, Thursday. Little rain Friday as a cold front moves by, drops us to 66, but a cool weekend, 59 and 63 for highs with sunshine for Saturday and Sunday.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Today marks day 2 of Senate confirmation hearings for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Senators question Barrett on how she will separate her political opinions from her duties as a Supreme Court justice. Barrett promised not to carry an agenda into the Supreme Court room. Senators questioned her about her stance on abortion, gun control, race relations in the United States, and the upcoming election. When asked if she made a commitment to President Donald Trump to overrule the Affordable Care Act, she said it is not her job to comment on any ruling.
I also think it would be a complete violation of the independence of the judiciary for anyone to put a justice on the court as a means of obtaining a particular result.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled for a first vote Thursday at 9 a.m. and a final vote could come on the 22nd.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden is answering where he stands when it comes to packing the court. Now, that was something his campaign was accused of in the vice presidential debate by Vice President Mike Pence. The Democratic nominee says he's not a fan of packing the court. He argues the rush to confirm Judge Amy Barrett as a justice is a form of court packing.
And one of the reasons is the Constitution implies that the only shot the American people get to determine who will be on the lifetime appointment on the Supreme Court or federal courts is when they pick their senator and their president.
We will continue to follow, of course, the developments in the Supreme Court Justice nominee. Have those updates for you later on this week. In the meantime, we are heading to break. More of your 4 to 5 when we come back.
So in case you're not familiar, the North Carolina Dance Festival has been entertaining the area for years, and they will not let a little pandemic change that, that's for sure. I spoke to Kayla Sturr from danceproject.org to give us the scoop on what's happening this year. Kayla, I know with the North Carolina Dance Festival in previous years, it has been different than what we'll experience this year. But can you talk about what this used to be, and then we'll talk about how you've made changes for this year?
The viewers may remember the North Carolina Dance Festival from previous years as a touring festival with live stage performances. And normally it would take place locally in Greensboro and then travel to other cities across the state, such as Asheville or Charlotte. So this year, to keep dance accessible for everybody, which is the goal of Dance Project ultimately, we decided to invite 20 different choreographers to create 20 different micro dances, which are short 30 to 60 second micro dances. And we are editing them into a dance film, which will be screened live on our website and our YouTube channel on the 24th. And we will also have a Q&A session afterwards, which our audience members are invited to participate in. If they have any questions or feedback for the dancers, they would love to engage with the audiences out there.
And I would think that for the dancers, this is a big deal. What does it mean emotionally for these dancers that participate, whether it's virtual or in person?
So I know that the artists involved with this project, I think, are very excited, very inspired to have a platform, a professional level platform that they can still use to communicate and engage with and create that artistic community with other artists as well as other audiences across the state, like we would have done with the festival in previous years.
It's great. We cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time today. Good luck. Very cool what they're doing. You can check them out at danceproject.org. And if you need more information, I've linked you to that in this story. Just look for it on WFMYnews2.com. The 4 to 5 continues right after this. We'll see you in a few.
Welcome back. It is Amazon Prime Day. This year's Prime Day is already showing greater success than years past. This year, 46% of retailers are offering discounts on the site. That's compared to last year's 38%. A lot of people shopping. So I ask you, have you shopped? What's the best deal you found? Do you have anything you have your eye on and you're chatting about it on my Facebook page? Surprisingly, not too many of you are shopping this Prime Day. Elaine Hall-Shelton is the only one who's commented so far that's saying she got something. She said, I got an educational toy for my niece for $5 that usually costs $15. Pretty good deal there. Bobby Odom said, I've been so busy at work, I haven't had a chance to look for deals as I had planned to do. Work really piled up on me today. Hope I can find some deals this evening. Good luck, Bobby. Misty Brown said, I haven't found much worth considering. I was excited about it, but now not so much. And Jim Hoop says, I looked, not really anything I needed. Here's the thing, Jim. You may not need some of it, but you might want some of it, right? That's my problem. That's the mindset I go into these things with, and then I end up spending too much money. Actually, I should listen to you, Jim.
What I do is I put it in my car and I come back an hour later. Do I still really want this as much? If not, I can wait. But you know, when they have that timer at the bottom, that's what gets you, because you know your time is running out, to save that $5 or $10 or whatever it is.
Man, it really does create that sense of urgency where I can't hardly stop. Literally today, Tahisha, that's the truth. I was looking online over here on my computer, and I would click, send to my cart, and then I would delete. And then I'd send to my cart, and I'd go back. I must have done that 4 different items. So I finally did buy something.
Oh, nice. I had my eye on this really fancy hair dryer and styling tool because I read so many articles about it having a huge discount. And I looked and it was still $400. And I was like, nah, that's not it. That's not it.
No.
I thought maybe we're talking about 2 different things. Are you talking about the thing that blow dries your hair and kind of curls it at the same time?
I think there are probably a few out there that do the different thing. This one's always been really expensive, but I was really hopeful for a Prime Day deal, and all these websites were touting it as the biggest deal of the day. $400 is not a deal, ever.
Nope, not at all.
Yep, I'd say no on that. We can say yes, though, to a forecast that holds some good changes for us. We've got a stretch of good days, and then it's going to feel like fall and then some by the weekend. Wouldn't you know, the cold air comes in just in time for the weekend. Here's the planning forecast. 45 will be the overnight low tonight. That'll be your step-out temperature tomorrow morning. Chilly to start that day. 68 by midday, but we warm up nicely, going up to about 74. There's a chance we could see a 30-degree difference from where we start and end the day tomorrow. Good news is lots of sunshine, low humidities. It will be absolutely beautiful. Our satellite and radar combination right now is pretty clear all across much of the eastern seaboard. You have to go up to New York, really, to see any substantial rain. We're in the mid-70s with sunshine Wednesday, Thursday. 66, cooler on Friday with a chance of rain, a 50-50 shot. That cold front moves through, and look at this, 41 and 59 for Saturday with sunshine. Sunday 40 and 63 and sunny, and a chance of rain in upper 60s. Cooler as we head into the beginning of next week.
Good afternoon and welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner, joined by Tahitian Moise and Eric Chilton. I call them my screen buddies because this is how I see you two, and it's how I've seen you two since March. So hi, you're trapped in the televisions, but you're still here. We are connected with Tahitian and Eric. We are connected with you. It all happens virtually. You can join our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Be sure to use our hashtag 4 to 5 to stay connected. Well, it is now time for your 4 to 5 roundup. We'll jump right in. A new outbreak of the coronavirus in China has officials undertaking a massive testing campaign. They found 12 positive cases in a port city there. So the entire city is now being tested. That's 9 million people. Authorities say they will have it all done in just 5 days. Meanwhile, back here at home, a large tent went up for a Burlington revival. Now, you may remember this event from a few years back. This year's revival starts on Thursday and will happen every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday over the next 4 weeks. The tent holds 2,000 people, but organizers say all of the chairs will be spread out. Because it is a religious event, Phase 3 capacity restrictions do not apply. The Tennessee Titans will play the Bills tonight. In the latest round of COVID-19 testing, the Titans had no new positive cases. An outbreak of cases on the team delayed last week's games to later this season and pushed this week's game to tonight. You can watch it all right here on WFMY News 2 at 7 o'clock. And a Davie County man fighting pancreatic cancer reached a major milestone. He survived 4 years. Earl Grosh was diagnosed in October 2015. He went to the hospital, or to the doctor, I should say, with what he thought was a herniated belly button, but it was actually a cancerous growth. The 5-year survival rate for his kind of cancer is only 3%. He received his 116th chemotherapy treatment on the 5-year survival date.
Rockingham County is hosting a drive-through flu clinic that'll happen every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This year's annual event is a drive-through. Be sure to bring your insurance card with you, and if you don't have insurance, it'll cost you $30. And parents, if your child is nervous about getting shots, clinic reps say it's better to set up an appointment inside the health department. Today marks day 2 of Senate confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Now, Barrett was questioned more on how she will separate her political opinion from her duties as a Supreme Court justice. Now, Barrett is promising not to carry an agenda into the courtroom. Senators are questioning her stance on abortion, gun control, race relations in the U.S. and the election. That's what they talked about today. Well, Barrett told senators her personal choices and opinions do not impact her decisions in the courtroom.
The benefit, I think, is that I'm committed to the rule of law and the role of the Supreme Court in dispensing equal justice for all.
The Judiciary Committee is scheduled for its first vote Thursday at 9 o'clock, and the final vote will be on the 22nd.
We are just 20 days out from Election Day, and that's why these Senate confirmation hearings are moving at a bit of a faster pace. So we ask you if you think a Supreme Court nominee should be confirmed before the election. Let's take a look at what you had to say on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. Barbara Jo York said yes, she's a smart lady. Linda Morris said no. Anderson Linda said absolutely. Hayden Wade says, yes, for sure. If the shoe was on the other foot, I guarantee they would. And Shirley Pennington said, if there is a vacancy, RBG said so herself. Laramie Lipman said, not at all. The Republicans blocked Obama's picks for 6 months because it was an election year. People have been voting for days, if not weeks. Let the people speak and be heard. Trudy Smith Allen said the current president has the constitutional power to fill the vacancy, so the nomination is appropriate. The Senate has the constitutional right to confirm, but on the nominees' qualifications, not their personal political goals. So yes, you can keep weighing in with us on our Facebook page, or you can post it to one of our live streams. Use our hashtag 4 to 5.
Both election campaigns are coming to North Carolina this week. Senator Kamala Harris is traveling to Asheville and Charlotte on Thursday. No details from her campaign, exactly what the trip will be about and what she'll be talking about. But as soon as we learn that information, of course, we will relay that to you. In the meantime, Vice President Mike Pence is hosting a Make America Great Again rally in Selma on Friday. It's happening at the farm at 95 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Doors will open at 11:30. And don't forget, President Trump is also coming to North Carolina. He'll be in Greenville on Thursday. He's hosting a Make America Great Again rally at the airport, Pitt Greenville Airport. President Trump is scheduled to speak at 1 p.m. and those gates will open at 10.
The Adecco Jobmobile is making its way to the Triad. The company is looking to fill more than 1,300 warehouse positions to work as holiday employees for Ralph Lauren. That hiring event is this Wednesday and Thursday from 9 until 3 off Pleasant Ridge Road. Just look for the Adecco Jobmobile. The Greensboro Police Department is now investigating a murder. Devontae Dino Coleman died off of Westgate City Boulevard and South Holden Road this morning. Officers say they responded to a report of aggravated assault and gunshots. GPD has not released any information about a possible suspect or what happened. And in High Point, police are looking for the person or people who shot and killed one woman and hurt a man last night. Police say the events unfolded on University Parkway and East Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. They found both of those victims inside of a car. Jasmine Lewis died at the hospital. The man is expected to recover. And take a look at your screen here. Police believe the suspect is driving this car. This is all the information we have at the moment, but if you know anything else, give the police department a call.
All right, forecast-wise, we are looking at a stretch of beautiful days, especially through the rest of the work week. Look at these numbers right now. We're between about 76 and 80 degrees all across the Triad. From 76 in Reedsville, Walnut Cove at 77, Winston-Salem 78, Greensboro and High Point both at 79. We'll drop down tonight, though, with clear skies. We'll just see all that heat sort of radiate out into space quickly. No clouds to hold it in. 45, that's the low tonight. The high tomorrow, 74, with plenty of sunshine. And we see clear skies all across the board here, don't we? Across the entire state, and that stretches all the way down into the deep south. Lots of sunshine today. High pressure, as you can see, moves into place. That'll keep us clear for a few days. You'll notice a cold front that starts to chase and push in behind the warmer air. We stay in the mid 70s next couple of days, but that colder air pushes in just in time for us to see a 59 degree reading on Saturday after a little rain Friday. But we're sunny for your weekend, but it's cold. Some of those lows in the northwest communities will be in the 30s for this weekend, and then we're back to the upper 60s with a slight rain chance for Monday and Tuesday.
The push to end daylight saving time is a hot topic once again, but it is different this time around. A Florida lawmaker argues that the pandemic is a good reason for holding off on ending daylight saving time, at least until the end of November of 2021. Senator Marco Rubio suggests more daylight after school hours is helpful for families and kids. He implies getting rid of the time change would offer stability for families balancing things such as virtual learning or working from home. More than 30 states have introduced bills to end daylight saving time in the past. And I say, hey, if there's any good reason to do it, you might as well do it now. I mean, the amount of changes that we've been through this year, I mean, it would be nice for one thing to stay the same.
You know, I wouldn't be mad if I had a little extra daylight when I left the station every evening. But I've said this before, this is really one of those things I don't care too much about. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. And I truly think that senators could probably spend their time working on something a little bit more important. But everyone has their thing. So if this is important to someone else, I'll respect that.
I don't like to have to worry about remembering when to change, your clocks. I'd rather, if we're going to just keep it, just do it straight across the board. I'm good to go. Something else to remember I don't need.
We will wait and see what happens with this one.
Yeah,
Before we head to break, it is a sad day for the Greensboro Grasshoppers organization. Bat dog Miss Lulu Garrick died Monday night from an illness. The Black Lab was part of the team since 2012. When Lulu wasn't on the field, we're told she loved playing fetch, going to the beach, and being with her family. Lulu was 9 years old. The Grasshoppers say they are planning a memorial for her at First National Bank Field. We'll be right back.
So it seems like we just got started with football. Now we're talking about college basketball. Yep, less than 2 weeks away. COVID, though, still remains a concern, really, for everybody involved. WFMY News 2's Luke Liddon has a look at how NC State is looking to approach this year. Luke?
Hard to believe, but the college basketball season is right around the corner, 12 days to be exact. But I think it'll look a lot like how we left it back in March, with a lot of empty seats and hardly any fans in attendance. Now, the season is still set to begin on November 25th, although NC State still has their doubts as well.
I do have concerns, and the concerns is, we all are trying to figure out how we're going to pull it off.
A valid concern, and one that will take a lot of patience to navigate.
I think the biggest thing that's affected, that could affect all of us, is contact tracing. At this time right now, we're testing once a week. And soon, within the next week or so, we'll go to 3 times a week. We've got to try to create a bubble within our own selves on campus, but it's totally different.
Keats and his crew are expected to host their first official practice this Wednesday, and Coach saying he likes the versatility this year's team can bring to the floor. But as of right now, the official schedule for the 2020 season has yet to be released. Coach Keats told the media earlier today they're still in the process of figuring it out and putting a full schedule together. And once we know, we of course will let all of you at home know as well. Back to you.
Have you found yourself streaming shows and movies more often these last few months? If so, you are not alone. Disney said Monday it's actually now going to reorganize its business units to focus even more on streaming and create shows and movies for their streaming services. In August, Disney Plus had more than 60 million subscribers, and between Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, there are more than 100 million subscribers. Disney also plans to launch another international streaming service called Star. So I wanted to bring you into the conversation today. So I asked you on my Facebook page, what's the best movie or a show that you've streamed so far this year? Christy Lynn says The Lion King. Jason Myers says Tiger King. 2 very different animal movies there. Jerry Neal says Yellowstone. Paul Higgins says best show, The Mandalorian. And Irma Christine Wilkins says, my friend and I enjoyed The Lion King, 2 for Lion King. Bobo and Papa Bedrich say we enjoyed Coal Miner's Daughter, the Loretta Lynn story. Sheila says The Peanut Butter Falcon. Shia LaBeouf is in that, in case you didn't know. And David Jimenez says season 1 and season 2 of Taco Chronicles on Netflix, and all seasons of Peaky Blinders. Now, I've binge watched, I gotta say, a lot of shows so far in the last 6 months, but the one that I watched the most, and I can't watch it too much because I don't want to spoil it, is Sister Sister, because that just came out on Netflix a few months ago, and it just brings me back to my childhood. And so I don't want to finish it too soon, so I have to make myself just watch 1 episode at a time. It's hard.
I was about to say spoil it. That came out in the 90s. You can't spoil it. You already know what happened.
Again for myself. I saw it live when it came out initially.
Gotcha. I tell you what, I've been streaming a lot, like more than I care to admit, throughout this entire thing. But I think it's smart to focus on these streaming services. I mean, this is how people consume content now. We stream our show on Facebook so people can have it in the palm of their hands wherever they go.
Yeah, that's the way it works. I with 4 kids, I don't have as much time, but I am just now finally getting caught up with Ozark, which I love, love, love. But I finally am closing in on the end of season 3. Love it.
I watched about 30 seconds of Ozark. Too dark for me, Chilton, but I've heard if you stick with it, it gets better. I know, I'm sorry. Continue this conversation with us. We are live on Facebook. Use our hashtag. It's right here, 4 to 5, and we'll be right back.
Hi, Brad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2,
You know, it is one thing to tour the Greensboro Science Center and see all the animals. It's a completely different thing to actually go behind the scenes with the keepers and you get to interact with the animals. Hard to believe, but it is happening thanks to a very special program that we understand will start very soon. I spoke with Martha Register today to get a sneak look at this program. Well, Martha, you know I'm a fan of everything you guys do there, but this gets people really behind the scenes. Talk a little bit about what people can experience if they actually come and do this in person. This is awesome.
Well, good morning, Eric. And yes, it's a beautiful day here. We're hoping for a lot of great fall weather. So we're trying to offer guests the experience to do what we do every day, and that's enrich our animals' lives here at the Greensboro Science Center. I'm sitting here with Journey. He is one of our Aldabra tortoises, and we have a brand new zoo and aquarium trek that'll take people right about breakfast time to meet some of our animals up close and personal. And when I'm up close and personal, the animals expect a little bit more out of me. So I'm just going to feed Journey a big treat. This is lettuce as we talk. And it's in slow motion, but you can see that it's really fun. And our goal always is to bring folks, up close and personal with our animals to try to tell some of the animal stories, some of the conservation issues, some of the plight that face these animals around the world. But since they're here in Greensboro, what better way to get to know them?
So, Martha, if when people come to do this, it's not just the tortoises, right? You've got a list of animals that they could possibly interact with.
Right. So we're trying to pick out about 4 different animals, and that could change based on the weather or the animals. But we'll start in the aquarium this time, feeding stingrays. And then we'll move to other areas in the aquarium and then out into our zoo, which hopefully will include these guys, always a big favorite, so that you'll be able to feed a stingray. And of course, who doesn't like pulled fish first thing in the morning?
I absolutely love this. We can't wait to get in there with you. We appreciate your time this morning. Be careful. Looks like he's getting ready to nudge you to get some more food. You never know what those animals are going to do. I will tell you, this is a great program. You don't get this opportunity, but every once in a while, obviously it's highly supervised, but even feeding the sharks, are you kidding me? I told that to Tyler today, and he said, I have to do that.
Absolutely not, but I think it's really cool. I don't want to feed a shark. I would feed that giant tortoise, though. You said, be careful, Martha. It looks like it's going to nudge you for more food. I'm like, it sounds like me, actually, around this time. If you put some lettuce close to my face, I might, nudge you.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know if I want the lettuce anymore. I've been eyeing some Nutella that I have in my cabinet back there, and my stomach is growling. Man, here we go. How do I always get back to this?
Eric?
How did we go from the Science Center to eating?
Because it's us, y'all. Because it's us. And this is what always happens.
It is what we do. All right, let's talk about a forecast. I will promise you I'll try very hard not to mention any food in the forecast. It is difficult, though. High pressure, you can see that to our west. That is moving in place. That'll keep us mild for the next couple of days, okay? So we're looking at mid-70s. Now, notice the cold front that you see right behind that. Here comes another dose of chilly air. The air is so dry right now with low humidity, which, by the way, nobody argues about that, right? It is so dry that we may see a 30-degree spread in low and high temperatures tomorrow. So we could go from the mid-40s to the mid-70s. Might see a little morning fog. That remains to be seen, but let's go with partly sunny skies for your Wednesday. And when you look at Wednesday, Thursday, that's nice. Sunshine, mid-70s. Cooler with rain as that cold front moves by. It's a 50-50 shot of rain on Friday, a high of 66. And for your weekend, cold but sunny. 59 on Saturday, 63 Sunday. Those lows are right around 40, which means we could see some upper 30s. In fact, will probably in our northern and northwestern counties. Back to the upper 60s we'll go for Monday, Tuesday. Rain chances on those 2 days, not all that bad. It's only a 30%. Not a big deal, but it is something we'll watch as another system moves by. But that's a big spread in temperatures as we go from 76 on Thursday, dropping down to only 59 for a high this weekend on Saturday.
Coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock, major jobs news. UPS is bringing nearly 600 new jobs to Alamance County. We're taking a closer look at the impact they'll have on the Piedmont Triad. Next on WFMY News 2 at 5.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? We are live outside of GCS headquarters where a GCAE rally is going on.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3. Leslie, how you doing? Yeah? That's it? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything in my IFB. Oh, there it is. Oh, who was doing something wrong back there? Hi, it wasn't you. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. Oh, wait, no, I still... Now I can hear you, yes. Yeah, my IFB has been...
It's time for my 2 cents. Today, I want to talk about flu shots. Yes, it's October, it's flu season, and that means you should make a plan to get the vaccine. Last year, the CDC says 48% of adults got the flu shot in America, up 3 percentage points from the year before, but still less than half of adults. Many people who don't get the shot have a similar excuse, usually a misconception about flu vaccines. So let's take some time to clear a few of those up. First, the flu shot cannot give you the flu. The CDC says the injection you get either contains a dead virus or a single protein from the flu virus. And yes, I've heard those people who say the last time I got a flu shot, I got sick. There are side effects from the shot that may make you feel bad, but those symptoms only last a day or two and are much less severe than the flu itself, which, by the way, can be deadly. Another reason to get a shot. Second, you say you got a flu shot last year, so you don't need one this year. The CDC says that's not true. Everyone older than 6 months needs an annual flu shot because your immune protection from the last vaccine fades over the year, and flu viruses are constantly changing, so the makeup of the shot is different each year. Third, and I hear this one a lot, people say, I've never gotten the flu shot before, and I've never gotten the flu. That's awesome. Those people are lucky, but why take a chance, especially this year? For the last 7 months, we've been thanking and showing support for our healthcare workers on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now is your chance to really show your appreciation by getting your flu shot, cutting down on the number of flu cases, and preventing a run on our healthcare systems and resources. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
What can Brown do for you? For the Piedmont Triad, it means 592 new jobs.
That's right. This morning, UPS announced plans to expand and build in 2 Triad counties, which means more jobs and more money in our area.
WFMY News 2's Adoria Chumba has more on the impact of today's major announcement.
The Secretary of Commerce revealed UPS plans to invest $316 million in 2 facilities in Alamance and Guilford counties over the next 4 years. The new facility in Mebane and Graham and an expanded Greensboro hub will bring close to 600 new jobs.
A great economic boost, not only for our business partner, but for our citizens, our residents.
UPS plans to build a new package care center at the North Carolina Commerce Center in Graham. The facility will be on Senator Ralph Scott Parkway and house 451 jobs. UPS will also expand its existing Greensboro hub and add 141 new jobs.
This is the largest capital investment in one single project ever in Alamance County. It's a large Greensboro project, and it just connects the dots not only with North Carolina, but to the world.
The new jobs come with an average salary of just over $65,000 per year. That's a healthy salary, especially when you look at the average salaries in both counties. In Guilford, it's $49 grand a year, and in Alamance, it's $41,000.
The county and the community college are always very interested in partnering with our local businesses to, increase their workforce availability.
And right now, UPS employs around 2,500 workers in North Carolina. The secretary says that this project is estimated to grow the state's economy by around $1.4 billion over the next 4 years.
This UPS news comes a day after Amazon confirmed it is also adding more jobs to the Piedmont Triad. The company confirmed plans to open a new delivery station in Whitsett next year. Hundreds of full-time employees will work there with a pay of at least $15 an hour. We'll update you on when you can apply for both the UPS and Amazon jobs on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Happening right now, a rally outside of where the Guilford County Board of Education meeting starts in 1 hour. Now, the crowd in that area is calling for the safest re-entry to the classroom possible. WFMY News 2's Jess Winters is out there with the Guilford County Association of Educators.
Teachers with the Guilford County Association of Educators say that a return for some to the classroom next week is too soon. That's why dozens of out there, probably upwards of 50, are out here rallying. They're holding up signs. They all have masks on. They're socially distancing at GCS headquarters. That's where the Board of Education meeting will be tonight at 6 in person for the first time in months. Take a look behind me. Now, a phased reentry plan has already been approved. It was approved in September, but the vote doesn't guarantee this return because certain health metrics have to be met. Positive COVID-19 test rates must remain under 5% for 14 straight days in order for kids to go back.
We're looking at the public health data, and the metrics are not where they should be. They're not where the board said that they should be.
The GCAE members are advocating for an even lower positivity rate for return, 3%, saying that's what the CDC most recently recommended. Guilford County Health Director Dr. Ulia Van said the CDC is recommending 3%, but 5% is still a downward trending number for Guilford County.
That is correct. That is a recommendation from the CDC. However, in our community right now, we are not in that green category. So we need to look at what is our next step. We're taking step-by-step approach.
This rally started at 4. It does end at 6, right as the Board of Education meeting starts. Expect to hear more about these numbers, more about the metrics, because the entire back-to-school plan is riding on them.
In the meantime, Greensboro Parks and Recs Department says that they plan to open after-school programs for kids age 5 to 12 at some of their recreation centers next week. The first one is set to open only if those classes resume in person. Lindley Rec Center is scheduled to reopen on Tuesday. Brown, Leonard, Lewis, and Griffin recreation centers will open on November 9th. Kristen Herndon says everyone will be required to undergo a health screening, wear a mask, and social distance. It's $30 per child, and only 8 to 15 kids will be accepted at each site each week.
We miss the community just as much as the community misses there being something for kids to do. And I know parents need a space for their kids to go where they can trust that they're not only having fun and doing their homework, but it's also safe.
If the Board of Education does not vote to allow in-person learning tonight, opening dates could get pushed back.
The number of new coronavirus cases is again pushing our trend higher. The dotted line you see here shows our 2-week average, and you can see our recent daily totals have pushed our trend higher than what we've seen in months. The state says it learned of 1,734 new cases in the past 24 hours. It's also important to look at the percent of tests coming back positive. The idea is the more tests completed, the more cases found. And you can see in this graph, our percent positive has fluctuated between 5 and 8% over the past couple of weeks. This last part over here, that red line here is very important. It's the 5% that the state's coronavirus task force is aiming for, and consistently. You can see we haven't been below that line in a couple of weeks.
UNC Greensboro announced a COVID cluster on the women's basketball team. The university says fewer than 10 students are impacted and the entire women's team is being tested. Team practices and activities have been suspended and athletic facilities are being deep cleaned. New at 5 o'clock, UNCG also announced spring semester changes due to COVID-19. The first day of classes will now be January 19th, a week later than planned, to help give students more time to safely transition back to campus. The school is also eliminating spring break to limit mass movement of people to and from campus. Finals and graduation will stay the same. U.S. Republican Senator from North Carolina Tom Tillis got good news about his COVID diagnosis. His doctors released a statement saying he met the 3 CDC criteria to resume in-person activities. Those are a 10-day quarantine, no fever for 24 hours, and improvement of any other symptoms. Tillis is back in Washington, D.C. and participating in the confirmation hearings of Judge Amy Coney Barrett.
On day 2 of her confirmation hearing, Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett faced tough questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee. Barrett offered no clues on how she rule on hot button issues.
I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not. I don't have any agenda.
When asked about the current case challenging the Affordable Care Act, the judge said she hasn't committed on how she'd decide.
I have had no conversation with the president or any of his staff on how I might rule in that case. I'm not hostile to the ACA. I'm not hostile to any statute that you pass.
President Trump has said he wants Barrett confirmed before the November 3rd election. During questioning, Barrett did not commit to recusing herself from cases challenging the election's results. A vote on Barrett's nomination is scheduled for Thursday. Democrats are expected to ask for a 1-week delay.
The road to the White House may run through North Carolina, and the candidates are proving it by planning more stops around our state. President Donald Trump will speak at a rally in Greenville in eastern North Carolina on Thursday. It'll be at 1 o'clock at the Pitt Greenville Airport. Also on Thursday, Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris will be in Asheville and Charlotte. Times and specific locations have not yet been announced. And on Friday, Vice President Mike Pence will host a Make America Great Again event in Selma. That's in Johnston County, east of Raleigh. That rally will start at 1:30.
Wake Forest University will be looking for a new president soon. Current president Nathan Hatch announced he plans to step down on June 30th. Hatch has led Wake Forest for 15 years and says he'll stay on until a new president takes office if needed. The Board of Trustees says the search for the next president will start immediately.
The sun is finally back. Took a little while, but we got those clouds out of here, and now things are really looking a lot better. I want you to look across our WFMY News 2 Sky Camera network. You'll see blue sky from Greensboro to High Point, Burlington, and Winston-Salem. And the temperatures, well, they're pretty warm, aren't they? All the way close to 80 degrees in some areas, upper 70s for most of us. But the chill is starting to arrive, already falling into the low 60s in the North Carolina mountains. There's a cold front right now, and you might have noticed earlier it was muggy outside. The humidity is really dropping off. Dew points are in the 40s in the foothills, still 60s to the south. That is going to change. All the dry air is moving in overnight tonight, so we'll quickly fall into the 50s and eventually end up in the 40s for tomorrow morning. Look at all the clear sky. It goes all the way back to Texas. We have nothing but sunshine for tomorrow, and that goes for Thursday as well. Some really nice fall days are on tap. We'll have 70s for your Wednesday. Coming up, we'll have the 7-day forecast, which shows another cold front on the way.
32 seasons, 11 teams of 2, one race for $1 million. The Amazing Race returns tomorrow night. And when you watch, you may see some familiar faces. We'll explain when we come back.
But before we go to break, some sad news to pass along. Miss Lulu Gehrig, the last of the Greensboro Grasshoppers bat dogs, has died. The team says the 9-year-old lab died Monday night after a brief illness. Memorial contributions can be made to Greensboro Grasshoppers charities, and all will go towards a memorial of all 3 Grasshoppers dogs at First National Bank Field. We'll be right back.
The countdown is on, the teams and the clues are ready, and the race is about to begin. The Amazing Race returns to CBS tomorrow night, and as you watch, you may see some familiar faces. A father and son with Triad ties will compete for the $1 million prize. Frank and Jerry Eves have roots in Greensboro. Jerry coached basketball at North Carolina A&T for a decade. His son Frank played basketball at Page High School and App State. The Eves didn't even apply to compete. They were scouted out by the casting crew to join the race around the world.
That just doesn't happen. These type of things just really don't fall in your lap. And I've done a lot of things in my life, but this was definitely, one of the most amazing experiences and probably one of the most spontaneous things I've ever done.
You have no idea. You have no control. It is a ball, I'm telling you, and it's priceless.
The 32nd season of The Amazing Race premieres tomorrow night at 9 o'clock right here on WFMY. And don't miss this, tonight CBS is also airing the Buffalo Bills versus the Tennessee Titans game starting at 7 o'clock, and that means Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air overnight starting at 1:38 a.m. This could be later if the game runs long. CBS is not airing NCIS or NCIS New Orleans. FBI Declassified will air after the game and right before WFMY News 2 at 11. Tomorrow night, WFMY News 2 and the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters will air a debate between North Carolina's candidates for governor. That also starts at 7, which means Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air overnight, again starting at 1:38. You can also find the programming changes on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Bargain hunters rejoice. Today is Amazon Prime Day. Now, according to Retail Me Not, 67% of Americans are planning to buy something today. That makes Prime Day bigger than Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Traditional retailers won't be left behind, though. In fact, 46% of retailers say they'll offer their deepest discounts during Amazon Prime Day instead of on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So how do you take advantage? Well, Amazon has its own cheat sheet. It includes everything from how to get deal alerts sent right to you and how to spot deal badges to how to use Amazon Assistant to compare prices. Now, keep this in mind. You can't buy or even look at many of these offers if you are not a Prime member. So membership is $13 a month, $128 a year if you want to do so, and it gives you free 2-day shipping. But you can get a trial membership for 30 days for free. Just be sure to set an alarm on your phone calendar to cancel before the time is up. We have a list of free shipping retailers and links to the tricks for Prime Day shopping. Just find this story in the Two Wants to Know section of WFMYnews2.com.
All right, how's this for a deal? Weather forecast is free every day of the year. Just follow us. We got you covered. Warm weather on the way next couple of days. I'll tell you, though, the chilliest air of the year so far. It is coming. When it arrives and what we're looking at, your 7-day is next. Ah, yes, a beautiful day in the Triad. You know, it didn't really start out that way. We had some cloud cover early on and, well, then things really warmed up. I want to show you the numbers. Check it out. 80 degrees for the high. That's our third 80-degree high of the month of October so far. On average, we get about 5 of those every October. So I know it sounds out of the ordinary. It's really not too bad. This is pretty nice, though. We finally got rid of our cloud cover and rainfall. So anywhere from the Carolinas up into the Midwest, we're good to go. There just aren't any systems headed our way. So what do we have? Well, we just have sunshine, high pressure in control here, and we'll actually get on the warmer side of things going into tomorrow. 70s will be back, and then for Thursday as well, we're really going to push the warmth even further. I expect it to be kind of like today in the upper 70s, maybe even close to 80. And that's ahead of our next cold front. This front really packs a bit of a punch. Chilly air behind it, starting to feel like late fall with some overnight lows possibly into the 30s. That big chill returning by Saturday morning and Sunday morning. The fall colors, they're peaking right now. This is a picture taken at Grandfather Mountain today, right there along the parkway. This is by Skip Sickler. He actually works for Grandfather Mountain. You can see that peak color really showing up quite nicely right now. So if you're trying to get up there, you're trying to see the peak color, I wouldn't wait. I'd do it tomorrow personally because those highest elevations are really peaking right now above 4,000 to 5,000 feet. Going to leave you with this. The tropics right now, not really much going on. There is one disturbance just to the east of the Caribbean islands, only about a 20% shot of it developing. So nothing I'm really concerned about for us right now. Let's check out the 7-day forecast. Beautiful stuff. Really depends on what you like. If you like 70s and sun, you get that tomorrow and for Thursday. If you like the cooler fall weather, well, the weekend is for you. That's when the chill arrives. We're talking about upper 50s for Saturday, low 60s on Sunday. Those overnight lows, that 41, that 40, that is in the city. So in the outlying areas, you could actually be in the upper 30s for those lows. Winter chill starting to arrive a little bit. The one day of the forecast we have to worry about rain for real would be Friday, about a ½ inch on the way.
Greensboro police are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened earlier this morning on Westgate City Boulevard. Police say they responded to a shots fired call in the area and transported Devontae Coleman to the hospital. He later died at the hospital. If you know anything that could help, call Greensboro Police. And a tragic death investigation in Mount Airy. The sheriff's department says they found a baby dead. They didn't provide many details, but say they got the call just before 9 this morning and arrived on Indian Trail to find the baby dead. They're still investigating and aren't providing any more information at this time.
One of the most popular and recognizable athletes in the world has tested positive for COVID-19. We're talking about Portuguese soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo. His team says he's doing well and does not have any symptoms. He will not play in a match against Sweden scheduled for tomorrow. He last played on Sunday and his positive test prompted retesting of his soccer team. Everyone else tested negative. Here in the U.S., researchers say a 25-year-old Nevada man is the first person in the United States and North America to be infected with COVID-19 twice. A medical journal article says the man first tested positive for the virus back in April and then again in June. They say he showed symptoms each time and the second infection was more severe than the first. The findings say it's not clear he was ever immune to the virus. We'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, good. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Do I need to do anything different with the shot? Okay.
We want to make sure your vote is counted this election season, but we know many of you still have questions.
Like what happens to your ballot once you mail it in or you drop it off? WFMY News 2's Stacey Spivey is part of our To Be Counted team getting you answers.
A viewer brought forth these questions for us. Lynn sent in this question asking, does a ballot delivered directly to the Board of Elections office update in ballot tracks? And is the Board of Elections opening and counting hand-delivered ballots weekly? Let's start with that first question. Does a ballot delivered directly to the Board of Elections office update in ballot tracks? The answer is yes. Ballot Tracks is a new service allowing voters to track their ballots from the time they mail it in to the time it arrives at the County Board of Elections. The director of the Guilford County Board of Elections, Charlie Collicutt, says once staff reviews it for sufficiency, it will be entered and then shown on ballot tracks. It's not immediate, but should show up the next business day. But you can also make sure your ballot is accepted in the state board's voter search tool. And to answer that second question about what happens to your ballot once it arrives at the elections office, according to the Board of Elections, staff will review it to make sure it's completed. Then it's put into the voting machine at the board meeting, but not tabulated or reported until Election Day. Thank you, Lynn, for those great questions. And remember, if you have a question, you can always ask us. Send us an email to tobecounted@wfmy.com. That's with the number 2, or you can also reach out to us on social media.
Yes, Michael. Hey, Michael is sending me viewer questions already. We have 2. We have Amazon Prime Day, and someone did ask about Amazon Prime Day. Okay.
Okay.
They are one of the biggest consumer advocacy organizations in North America, and we have a Better Business Bureau expert here to answer your questions. Lachelle Yates is joining us to talk about businesses, scams, and so much more. So if you have questions about any of that you want answered, you can text them to us. The number is 336-379-5775. Take a look. It's right there on your screen if you want to snap a picture. Remember, we can only accept questions that you text. Please do not call that number with your questions. But Lachelle, we are already getting some great questions texted into us. One that you and I actually discussed earlier today, because it's Amazon Prime Day. A lot of people are shopping on Amazon, and the BBB is aware of a possible scam related to Prime Day.
Yeah, con artists are not going to let any opportunity slip by, and Prime Day is a great one. Con artists are calling people and saying that there is a problem with their account and that they need to get some information from you. And those problems can range from a problem with your Prime card to a lost or stolen package, or to maybe a problem with the delivery. Their goal, no matter what the question is or the issue is that they say they're calling about, is they're trying to get your personal information. They're either trying to get your bank account information, your credit card information, or your account information. And they're brazen about it. They are just flat out asking for it. The other thing that these calls do is they say, we might need to remotely access your computer, and that's also a scam.
So how do we know that this is a scam and it's not actually Amazon calling to confirm something about what we've purchased?
You really want to be skeptical of any unsolicited emails or phone calls that you get. Now, there are a couple of departments within Amazon that will call you, but for the most part, Amazon will not call. If they call, they are not going to ask for your account login information, and they're not going to ask to remote